I guess a short introduction again, right? This is our video review of the discussable competitive Riichi Hub. We'll go through two replays, one Joku and one Toku, and then we will jump to several what would you discard problems. And please say hi to Diriadan and WhITelion too.
Hello.
Hi.
So because of some technical difficulties, like we have to start the episode over. So let's go, guys.
All right.
Alright.
Like even Chrome is betraying me by not having any sound too, but that's fine. Okay, in the second discard, he went with 8 soul here.
Yeah.
We
was thinking,
still
like-
have some.
One of you go, please.
Well, for that discard, I was thinking
Right.
maybe East Wind instead.
Yes, we'll have two
Maybe.
options here, which are the edge man or the east.
Thinking about more, and your window client is still an overlay on top of your browser, so turn
Yeah,
on
I
the
know. Just like suck it up or something. Like I can't really fix that right now. I will try to reduce that.
turn on.
Okay. Now it's good, I think. Well, let's stop at the edge, so discard and well, we have two options here, which are edge man and east. Like, what do you usually choose in this situation?
I would if should go with east, I think.
Sometimes I would choose 8 Mountain.
Mm.
Maybe because it's close to the Dora. There's a reason to keep it though.
It is a reason to keep it or discard it.
Say keep it in case you draw like a 7 or a 4.
Yeah. I would.
A 4 is nothing much though.
Say it again, please.
A 4-man is not having much.
Yeah, but
PP8.
he's still thinking of when we're drawing the 7-man though. Like, I would discard the east, but because like east is the round win and it is better to throw it early so that they have less chance to pawn it for 2 hands. That's why I discard the east.
I see. So, can we proceed?
Yep.
All right. So, moving on.
After our next draws though, I think I would have discarded the 8 Mon instead of
The 1.
The west.
The first discard, huh?
I was thinking like when we drew the 3 pin 8 Mon by then.
Yes. let's say it again. Like, when would you discard the 8-man? Like, I misheard things.
When we drew another 3-pin.
When we drew the 3-pin.
East.
Huh. I would still discard the east there.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so anything more in that is on hand.
I think
Probably no.
dealer declares reach. Thinking about discarding the 8-pin.
Oh,
Discarded green dragon.
Just
true.
say it as Hatsu instead of the green dragon.
Okay.
Also agree with that. The pin should go first.
Yeah, I think it is a good idea. Because the opposite player is not wholly defending, so it's better to get rid of the H pin here and go with the Hatsu later in case it is needed somehow. Yeah, so agree with H pin here. It will make a steadier defense. Let's proceed with the next hand, shall we?
Alright.
Yep. So card. I would discard the 1-pin.
In the first discard?
Yeah.
Huh. I would probably also go with 1-pin.
Yeah. 1-pin is as useless as pay, but it has more. But the pay has more defensive value, so it should be better to discard the 1-pin first, I think. Well, either way, it's not that important.
True.
Like, I remember this hand from watching. Like, he has to defend really early, and he did a nice job defending this hand. Yeah, so next hand, please.
Alright.
Let's stop at when the opposite player discarding tune.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what would you do in this situation?
I mean, uh,
Like, do we pawn that tune or not?
yes. I mean, it's basically an easy 2,000 points hand.
Yeah, like like I would agree with pawning tune here, but the thing is that this situation, like like a lot of people would hesitate in pawning tune here, and with good reason. I often see that problem.
Hmm. Say, what are the reasons for not calling June here? I
Uh,
mean, the hand cannot really develop that well.
like if we don't pawn tune here, we hope for something like a Riichi. Of course, we would pawn the second tune if we pass that one here. But if we pass the tune right now, we have a chance to call Riichi. Normally, I would also call the tune because, like, if we do not go here, and then it might be really hard to win a hand. Like, we only have one more tune left, so I will just go right away personally.
Alright, so can we
How
move on?
yeah, how do you usually do it, Didier Dan?
I would call it just to get to 10 pi.
Like, I know that I would call, but every time this situation show up, I would ask myself again over and over whether I should call or not.
Okay, so after the call, the player goes for the 9 pin and for the weight,
Yeah, let's move on.
slightly less outs, but its benefit are shown right away as the player draws a 5 cell, making a Rian man.
Yeah, the 4 soul is a good pair in which we can draw both 3 soul and 5 soul to make a young man, so I think it is a good decision. Okay, about the Chun card after the Riichi.
Chunkan. So, I mean, can we go back to the 1 pin?
One pin, okay.
Right, so what would you do here? I
It's a
mean,
hard.
Yeah, it's
it
a good
really
question. It's a really a good question.
is the Ibasu turn, and I'm not sure whether I will be able to push the 1 pin. We have 2 safe ties left,
Yeah,
so defending is barely possible.
like with this 2K hand, like 2 times of safety is enough to force her to think whether to defend here or not. Like with 2K hand and 2 safe ties, defend is really an option. With one safe tie, like okay, we'll push, but yeah, but
So,
on the other hand, it's early and our edge is really good.
yeah, I would, I mean, I think that I will push, but I'm not
No,
sure what I will do in the actual game.
yeah. Well, I saw you like defend with a mangan in an actual game before, so
Okay.
you're a coward. But it,
So, right. Can we move on?
Sure.
I think we have to find the solution for this situation first. Like,
Huh. True. So, what are the benefits of pushing here? If we push one pin, we are still in 10 pi for a 2000 point hand, waiting on 3-6 cell, a decent weight, and we rigs dealing into the opposite player's reach.
yeah, and one pin is close to the Dora 3 pin too.
Meanwhile,
I,
if we go with the absolutely safe 9 pin, we can buy 2 turns of safety.
Mm.
That's about it, I think.
Yeah, go
If
on,
we are
DDR
lucky,
then. Uh,
if you discard 9 pin, then you have a two-sided weight for a pair on the 1 or 4 pin.
yeah, but
But I think the 1 pin doesn't look as dangerous to me because there's 2 3 pins and 2 pins that you can see. So for that reason, I'd be more okay with pushing on it.
yeah. So you would choose 9 pin here.
I I think I would choose 1 pin, but I'm
One
not
pin.
sure.
I'm not really sure
The
either.
thing,
I mean,
the thing I'm afraid of is that one pin is close to the Dora, and like 2 3 pin out doesn't really say much in my opinion.
I'm really thinking about the 9 pin here. If we draw any of 1 pin, 4 pin, 3 cell, 6 cell, we'll be right back into 10 pi. If we
No,
discard
just
the 9
just
pin,
on 4 pin, just on 4 pin. If we discard 9 pin, we only get back 10 pi with 104.
no. Say if we have, we can still draw T6 cell to get back into 10 pi.
Yeah, that too.
So I'm still thinking about the 9 pin pair here.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on this one.
The 3 pin being Dora doesn't make the 1 pin more likely to play in here, just because it wasn't that far in, so they didn't really choose. And so it's more like a larger hand, probably, because the hand would probably have Dora, but it's not that likely to play in.
That's a good point too.
Yeah. Should we take into account that we are still in H3? What are the chances of actually winning here?
If we attack here, I think we have a really good shot at winning. Like if we use the non-zero Riichi has an approximate winning value of 5,000. We are having a good weight with 2,000 here, which is almost half. Like I got like if you don't know about the theories, then I will talk about it. Like uh, who was the author of the theory? I don't remember, but it says that a non-zero Ricci have an estimated value of 5,000 and 9,000 for dealer, and we should push if we have a good weight with half the Ricci's value or bad weight with the same as the Riichi's value. So do you think that we can apply this theory here?
We probably can and forcefully push one pin.
Like if we do apply this theory and adding to the fact that it is early in the game, like it is a reason to push one pin here, I think.
Alright. So can we move on?
Yeah, I think. So the can is definitely a mistake. Like I advise against doing that at home. That's
Well,
it.
it's probably just a misclick.
Yeah. Yeah, but it benefits the player in the end. Let's move on to the next hand.
Alright.
So I would discard 9 mon instead of 9 pin.
9 man. Ah, okay.
Like, what do you think is the difference between 9 man and 9 pin here?
The 9 mon is hard to use because if you draw the 7, it goes with the 5-6, and if you draw the 8, it overlaps with the 5-6. So if you draw a 7, it's easier to use with the
Yeah.
9 pin.
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
After seeing the 2 calls, I would say our hand doesn't look very good, so I'd be cautious about how I play the hand.
That's a good point. I mean, our hand are basically chance. Yeah, but it is hard to actually to talk about like defending in the middle of the hand when the player didn't actually do it. Like there's many variables that we can't really talk about.
Yeah.
So let's
I guess we should move on.
yeah, let's leave that topic when we actually have a replay that the player defend in the middle of the hand without any Riichi on the table. Yeah, so we should move on the next hand. The player discarded pay in the first discard, which I think should be east instead.
Hmm. Can we go with one soul? Oh, never mind. Okay. I would discard east.
East is a pretty charged tie in this case. I don't think whether he knows that the Rawin has turned to south or not.
Nine pin discard when we get there.
Yeah. So what do you think about like 19 is certainly worse
So
than some other option, but we would have
I pin discard.
Uh,
the two options here. First is to discard 4, so and second is to break 1-3 pin because two of the two are out on the table.
Yes. So the first question is, do we have enough blocks? I mean, if we keep the force out, it's not going to do much. Say we improve it to something like 2-3-3-4-4. We'll have to discard the entire 1379 pin tool.
Well, but
So
if we do get the Man with the 4, so like there would be no problem. Discard the 1379
yeah,
if we do get the Man. Didier Adan, please go.
discard the force out just because you could also draw Beyond Man around the 3 pin or the 7 pin. Or you could complete the Kanchan.
Mhm. Yeah, it should be the more natural choice, the Forso.
yeah,
Also because we discarded the one so too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but it should be said still that 1-3 pin is better than 7-9 pin in this situation. Like he need to look at the table to see that 2 pins are out. Okay, let's move on. The opposite player Riichi.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, the tune discard is a mistake in defending. The thing is that
Yeah,
we have to defend with the safest time possible if we have no plan to counter attack. In this case, we cannot counter attack at all, so we have to go with a safer tie than tune, which is 4 man. And even the 8 man later, the tune is not that good of a tie to discard because of the increased on hand if it deals in. Like if you discard tune, you don't often get runs, but you will get runs sometime. And you will say, "Oh, tune is
okay.
a pretty safe discard, so it's just bad luck that I deal in." But in reality, it's your mistake not to discard the safest style that you deal in.
Right. So are we moving on to the next hand or?
Yeah.
The next hand, what do you think about discarding 9 mon on the first discard?
Huh. Okay, so 9 more on the first discard.
You mean the third?
On the very
And
first.
yeah,
Discarding it on
and
the first turn.
instead of the Haku.
Okay. Yeah, that is better. That would be better in my opinion.
The reason I say it is just because if you like have enough blocks, I guess, and it wouldn't help that much to draw a tile around the
Yeah,
9 mon. But if you draw another Haku, that would be really helpful.
yeah. I mean, at this stage, like keeping Yaku high time would be better than keeping the 1-9 times. We can always draw another Yaku high time to pair it up,
Yeah.
and the 1-9 is not something that we should keep anyways. Like it's hard to make anything with that. I'm stopping on the 5, so discard.
Right, so discard. Ah,
So once one of the 4 is out, in this case, usually I would discard the 1 soul. Since we are having the tune pair that we can pawn, I would prefer to keep 2 pairs, 2 other pairs in my hand.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
I also agree with that.
A question I would like to ask is that how should we think of the dealer's hand and discards in this hand?
Not sure.
But he went with discarding the h9, so first then come back to discard on the times he called man ties and later on counterplay, and his discard only shows 1 man ties.
You should turn on Sumogiri in the replay viewing.
Okay.
So if you turn on Sumogiri, you can just note that
Go on.
the Chuman came out from the hand, the 5 pin is irrelevant, and the pair of Chusel came out from the hand.
Yeah.
This probably signifies Manzu Homisu,
Yeah.
but
After the Peiko, it should be kinda obvious, but can we deduce some information before that Peiko?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't think that I can really put him on anything before the Paycon. So
Yeah.
I think at this level it's possible it's just toy as well.
true.
Yeah, he also made an inefficient discard by discarding the 2-man earlier. Yeah, I guess it is hard to actually deduce something.
So should we move on to the next hand? I mean,
Okay.
right.
Starting the 2 and 1 so and keeping the 5 so.
Alright. So should we keep the 5 cell here? I mean, we can still draw a Dora or red 5.
Like
So-
it's almost the same as the previous situation when we discussed whether to discard the 4 soul over 2 Kanchans. But in this case, the 5 is pretty close to the Dora. And
Yeah.
Penchan is.
I think it's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, go on.
I think it's a good discard just because it's close to the Dora and you can draw a better block.
Yeah. In this
Yeah.
case also compared to the previous case where we have on 2 and 7-9 Ryan Kanchans. In this case, the Penchan 1-2 is worse than a Kanchan, and the 6-8 Penchan 6-8 Kanchan also not not as good as other Kanchans because we also have the 3-4 Ryanman. So the 5 pin would already complete that Ryanman. And
Right.
furthermore, we also have one excessive block. So it might be
Yep.
good to get rid of the Penchan. Go on, you have something to say?
Oh, I was going ahead,
Yeah.
but I don't like the Shah discard.
Me neither. Can we go with itself?
Yeah, about that, how do you think about pawning the Shah?
Actually not sure. I mean,
Pawning the
we
Shah
can't-
earlier.
if we can't, we'll have to discard 8-man
No, we would better discard
or the
5
cell.
so yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're not that well off after calling the shot,
Yeah.
but if we are not calling the shot, we'll have to go into basically defense mode.
We can still do something if we draw something to connect with the 5, or if we draw 7 pin even. Even Riichi Nomi is better than a Yakuhai Nomi. And besides, the Shah in our hand will have defensive values, and winning 1000 hand in this situation doesn't really have much. What do you think?
Yeah, I would or save tiles kind of and not call it also just because it doesn't really or it doesn't get you closer to 10 pi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So about the shot discard,
Yeah, it would be definitely better to discard the edge so instead of the share.
Alright.
It is still a pair which we doesn't have another really.
And the SO is perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so the facial discard. Facial discard, I'm not entirely sure what I would do there.
Yeah. It is still better to discard the edge, really. Yeah, so moving on.
Right.
Yeah.
The 8-man discard when you get there.
Yeah. Yeah, if we like following the theory strictly, we should discard the 7-man here. There's no question about that. I think he might be having some hope of completing the hand. Like he leaves the the space in the case that 6-man might become safe later, and he can have a 10 pie or something. But I still think that discarding the 7 instead of the 8-man would be better.
Can we even counterattack? I mean, that's
Yeah,
only if the 6-man becomes safe.
yeah, that's what I want to talk about. The thing is that
I mean, 8-man is fine. Fine on it. Fine on SO, but
They
7-man is
did
safer.
discard the red 5, so that might help us.
yeah, but sometimes uh, there would like, from time to time there would be some nasty surprise waiting for you. I mean,
Yeah.
there was one
Yeah.
case where I let me remember like the 2-man is the Dora and he discarding it calling Riichi, and then like 6-man is out, so that 3-man is Suji. So I'm thinking like he can't having like 1 2 man waiting on 3, because if that's the case he would discard 1 man because 2 is Dora. But then Sansuku in my fucking face and I died. So there's no guarantee that there's not some nasty surprise waiting for you in the wings. Like maybe a chi toy or like things like that.
Alright, so moving on. I guess there is nothing else left in his hand.
Yeah. Okay, South Jew. And by the way, we just finish this unlock and move on to what would you discard right away, because we don't really have
Alright,
enough time. Like the locks are taking more time than I imagine.
right. So
Next hand, early Riichi. Yeah, I don't think there's much we can talk about.
Good to me.
You want to say something?
Just, it looks good to me, I said.
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing really big in Xiaoju.
Yeah, Soju on Honba. Move to Chu Honba. Let's like talk about the high pie in this hand. At this point, would you like calling 6 pin or 3 so if it comes out right now? And then after the first draw, when we draw the 5 man to like there are more ties for us to call. So at this stage, we call right
Uh,
away when you have a chance.
right. So
Yeah.
I would definitely call the 3 so the 6 pin. I'm not sure about the 8 pin.
Yeah, the edge spin is not a good call, but like any other time we can call.
I mean, 3-6. The 3 so and 6 pin calls are probably fine.
Yeah,
We are not going to be aiming for something high value anyway.
yeah, yeah. Let's move on further into the hand. Yeah, so you see he did pass the 7 pin pawn later on,
Yeah.
which I think
Right.
should be a
So can we
pawn.
stop that? Can we
Yeah,
stop at that point? All right.
yeah. I think it should definitely be a pawn here.
Okay. So if we do not call the 7 pin, we have 2 8 pin, 1 7 pin, 4 6 pin, and the mantle 4 and 7. That should be 15
Yeah,
times.
well, the thing is that with that close distance to the third and fourth, we kind of have to like go as quick as possible to gain some point, and it would be
We,
terrible if
yeah,
like they have something, and if they have something, we would be out of stuff to defend too, so it would be more terrible, and it would be like furthermore, it would be terrible if we are forced to defend in this hand when either left or right attack, because like we will be in red danger going into fourth place. So it will be better to just take the 7 pin pawn and having like increase some distance. We also have 2 Honma in the table, so that is more points.
alright.
Oh,
So we can, if we skip the 7 pin, we can fetch the 6 pin for Tanyao Sansoku. What do you think about that?
it is something, but like it is not a guaranteed Sashuku by any means. Like we need to
True,
draw the 6 pin and the 7 man to have that.
true. So, okay, so 5 pin discard and reach.
Yeah, Riichi is definitely the good thing to
Yeah,
do, no doubt about that. Like I just wonder whether to pawn the 7 pin, and I think we should pawn. Like of
right.
course we would have to Riichi if we have a close 10 pie with this hand. That is for sure, no doubt about that.
Alright, so I guess there's nothing else to talk about other than reach.
Yeah, do you have anything more to add, DTR Dan?
Nope, I don't have anything for that hand.
Okay.
Alright, so move on to sound 3.
Oh, I remember I remember this hand.
All right.
Yeah, let's
So
talk about the
nothing
Riichi. Let's
until
talk
the
about the
reach.
Riichi.
Yeah. So reach Ipeco with Chudora. This is probably a bit overkill at this
Yeah,
stage of the game.
with that kind of situation, yeah, I think like I would definitely go for Damatan here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also agree with that.
Like 5k2 is like huge in this situation, and if we draw the edge man, we also get a mangan either way.
And we can still improve if we draw Sigmund.
Yeah,
Yep.
if we draw 6 man, we can call Riichi right after that, or not. Yeah, but I think if I draw the 6 man, I would call the Riichi. But at this stage, Ipeco Chudora, I would Damatan right here.
Right?
Yeah.
So we should move on.
Last hand is in last place.
Alright, so really not sure about where should we discuss in IPIN.
Well, we just like generally we will just make our these cards as efficient as possible and hope for the best here. It's just efficient as possible. In this situation, it is quite easy to discard the 9-pin if we need to because
Yeah,
we already have 2 Doras.
Draw
should we still
when we draw 6,
6
so 9 pin.
Yeah, also thinking that.
Yeah, that is definitely a good thing to do. To I mean, let's make the hand as efficient as possible. Even after
Right.
discard the 9-pin, we can have like at least a 5k edge hand, which is what we really want in this situation. Or if we have the close 10 pack, we will reach and have a man gun anyway. So when we have the 7 man, it should be
Yeah.
better to discard the 9-pin right away.
So 3 soul discard when you get there.
Yep.
Like I think it is pretty much a coin toss in this situation where we choose between 3-6 weight and 4-7 weight. Like even if on
I think that
7 so comes out, you can always argue that he would discard another 7 sword. It comes out. I think
I guess.
the choice between 3-6 or 4-7 is pretty much a coin toss.
when they discard the 7, though, it might mean they don't have a 6 in their hand, so maybe the 3-6 is higher chance.
Yeah, I mean, I would like just forget about it and discard 7 soul
Probably
just
not.
because one come out.
I mean, you can still play a 7 from 677, and there'll still be a 6 in your hand.
Like what they do is just like
Yeah.
forget about reading and just discard the 7 because one of it is out. Like, that way we won't
Yeah.
have to blame ourselves when our read backfire.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess they.
Yeah, but then if when he draw the 5, it would be better to switch from 4-7 to 5-8. 5-8 is better than 4-7, that is for sure.
Yeah.
So that should be a mistake there, not a coin toss. With white 3-6 and 4-7 is pretty much the same. Like 5-8 is better than both of them.
All right. So
Yeah, next hand.
yeah, this should be the last hand, right?
Yeah. Okay. West pair breaks again in this hand.
Okay. So West pair, I would just probably go with one man first, and
Yeah. Should be the more standard choice to discard one man instead of the share.
Yeah.
right. So okay. See, one pin discards. I'm not sure whether there are any better choices than one pin there. So
Yeah. Um, the one pin after the Riichi.
yeah, it should be one pin here, right?
I think so. I don't know whether the 5. I mean the 5 you can
No.
Musu, but
Yes.
there
No.
should be some like risk discarding the 5. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with the one pin here.
Right. And that should be it for the replay, since the
Yeah,
opposite
it
player
was
heals it right
yeah,
after.
yeah, it was a sloppy like review session, but yeah.
At least we made through.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we move on to the slides.
let's go to the what we did. What would you discard?
Right.
Okay, first one is a pretty easy problem. Yeah, but
So
it is still like something that lower players usually miss on out. The
moving
play,
on to
yeah,
slides.
the play
Yeah.
for this, yeah, it must be Riichi. Like, there's no reason not to Riichi in this situation. Like, you should not be timid about the fact that 9 and 6 are out a lot on the table. You still have 3 winning ties left, which is like uh the same
I
as
think
a typical
uh,
bedweight.
main problem here is the opposite players June pawn. They already have a mahjong guarantee.
We will also have a big hand if we just Riichi here. It's just like a normal bedweight.
Yeah,
Uh, we would have more to lose if he sumo anyways. Like if it's sumo, we would also lose things badly. And 4 man is always is also a suji to him.
I guess that's true. So
I would have no problem
yeah,
in reaching this hand.
I would also have no problem in calling reach. What do you think, Didier Dan?
I would probably reach, but I don't know.
Like the loss of dealing in 8k and the loss of losing 4k when he sumo, like it is like 4k difference, which is like not small, I admit it, but not that big either. Like if he sumo, we also lose 4k anyway.
All right, so
And if he Riichi, like he would
yeah,
have to go into the combat and likely to discard our winning tie too. So next one.
okay. So the next one.
Have you two seen that problem?
Okay,
If
so
yeah,
I'm going to explain my reasoning for this first. So at first sight, it really looks like one pin. It's a good discard because it looks like an easy Tanjao. But if we consider our blocks here, we have a 556 block, a 133 pin block, and a Chuso pair. If we view it like this, I think we should discard the 5-man.
yeah, like if we think hard enough about it, it should be clear that the 5-man is the better discard. I mean, we're having enough pairs, like we're having the two soul pairs, and uh, the 3 piece should be another pair, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, complete groups. So that leaves us with the 3-pin pair and the 5-man pair. So it should be the better choice to discard the 5-man to reduce one pair in this situation, keeping
Certainly true.
133 pin intact, and the 5-man discard doesn't take away channel from us completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
But another thing is that we come to the 5-man conclusion after thinking about it hard enough. But if suppose that we are playing in a ranked match, would you be able to think a 5-man fast enough?
Yes.
Yeah, confident, huh?
Yeah.
That's how I'd normally look at the hand.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, is the things like um, 5, but I don't think that's enough reason to like keep 5, the extra 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we like change the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to like two other complete unrelated groups, it would be easier to see that the 5-man is the better discard.
Yeah. So should we move on to the next problem?
Okay, next problem is a problem that I faced in one of my matches. We are having a good 10 by. The only question is whether to reach it or not.
We so we should definitely not discard the 8-man here. Let's get that out of the way first.
Yeah, we discard the 5-man here. The only question is whether to reach it or not.
Alright,
When I'm
so
playing, because I feel like I have a better chance to win if I don't reach, but I don't know if that's the best.
I'm not fully sure about this. I mean, if we discard the 5-man with reach, we create a Sushi trap on the 2-man, but it's probably not going to work.
It is a tough choice. Like my reason in the match is that if we reach here with a Riichi Tanya Dora, and suppose that we will win with the minimum amount of points, which is 5,200, we still didn't break away from the KO possibility of the Mangan from the left player next hand.
Yeah. So, uh, so if we go Dama 10 on the 5-man, can we improve our hands? we do not improve on the 3-man draw because 310.
Yeah,
We improve on the 6-0 draw only. So
yeah,
I'm not seeing much of an argument for Dama 10 here.
yeah. That too. But yeah, but usually like the improvement thing, it is a nice thing to talk about, but it is one of the thing with the like lower weight in Riichi or not Riichi.
So I guess I would appreciate this, but not fully confident about it.
Yeah, sorry that I got interrupted a bit before my talk.
Right.
So yeah, the improvement thing is the nice thing to talk about, but the weight of the improvement is like one of the lowest in deciding whether or not Richie in this situation. Like,
Yeah. So should we move on? Or
hmm.
if I were to think about this further, there are 3 format out of the field, so
Yeah, that too. I mean, the sushi trap and the 3-4 man looks really delicious.
yeah. I think we can create a solid case for Riichi here, but not so much for a Dama 10.
Well, the argument for Damatan is that we want to first is to stop the dealer. Second is that I talked about the value in which a 5k2 hand doesn't break away from the Mangan range from the left player next hand. Like
Yeah.
the 5k2 is not different from a 2k6 in this situation.
But if we get a Riichi Sumo, so it will be Mangan.
Hmm.
So I guess we have more reason to Riichi than not.
Do you think it's true that people would be more likely to play in if you don't reach, or not in this case?
I'm not really sure, but
I would still think that Dama gives us higher chance to win in this situation. Like the sushi chap with the discarded the Richie tie is the worst sushi chap,
yeah.
so it would be still like easier for us to win if we Dama compared to Richie.
I don't think we can draw any really good conclusion for this one. So should we move on?
Yeah, I think it would be like something to keep in mind rather than having a definite answer for now.
Yeah.
Next hand is from a random Twitter of a 10th Dan.
So I'm just going out on a limb here and going to guess the unlikely option of 5-man. With 5-man, all the ties that can get you to Tenpai will get you into a decent shape. Even the 1 pin, it will get you Shansoku.
What about the 2 pin or the 5 pin, man? Like
The
if
2
you
pin
discard.
will be definitely be the standard choice for pin
No, no,
pool.
no, no, no. I mean, after discarding the 5 man, you draw the 2 pin or the 5 pin.
Ah, reach. I mean, why not?
Yeah, but like it, you say that like after discarding 5 man every time would bring you to the decent shape. Like that is not true because like 2 pin, 5 pin, 7 pin, like
I guess. I mean, 4 ties is decent, but not good. So if we discard 2 pin here, we'll be ignoring Sashu entirely.
yeah, and we will have good shape in like a lot of cases. Only 3 or 7 pin doesn't bring a good shape at
Yeah,
5 man too. Actually, a lot of them, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And on the other hand, if we go with a 5 pin, we can have Shanshoku again.
But we do have the double Dora in our hand,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So Sanshoku is reduced in its usefulness.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? I mean, 5 man looks really good.
I think
It,
I would discard
yeah.
2 pin.
Like
So
2 pin is still the best discard efficiency wise.
So I'm going to argue a bit for 5 man. If we get, say, 2 pin and 5 pin, we can still go for reach
Yeah,
with
but
a somewhat acceptable hand. If we get a Shanshoku with 1 pin, Dama 10. And if we get a pinful shape, of course it would be a reach. Say, what would you do if you draw 7 man after discarding the 2 pin?
we win. We win. Keep the tanky wedge and then switch it to a complex tanky wedge later. That
Right.
is what I usually do. Actually, 5 man is not that far off in number of useful tiles compared to the other two choices.
Yeah.
The 2 pin gives us 35 useful tiles, 5 pin gives 31, and 5 man gives 28.
But can we use only 35 ties? If we exclude the tie with, that would give it a bad weight.
Let me count that.
Just rock calculation
3,
alone, if we ignore the
6,
4-7 man, it's already a loss of 8 ties.
8. Yeah, actually, like 2 pin that gives us a lot of like bad weight 10 by. Why 5 man only give bad weight 10 by with 6 man and 7 pin. Like 1 pin it is not counted because we have a Sansuku.
Right. Okay, so if we go back to the actual situation, should we take other factors into account? I mean, look at the point situation.
It shouldn't matter too much here considering that we are chiller and having Tudorine it's early and shit.
Yeah, I mean, even if we are in South 3,
Yeah, we should like maximize our attack. That is definitely true. Like we shouldn't like there's nothing to think of about the situation, about the point situation or either discard it. this place.
So there is a concern about if we discard two pin, we draw back a say 7-man, for example, discard a 6, and we suddenly get 147, so will be 310.
Yeah, like I didn't notice that at first, but I noticed that now. Huh. That is pretty bad.
I would still argue for a 5-man discard here.
What about 5-pin?
5-pin, I mean, I think 5-pin is a little bit worse than 5-man
Why do you say that?
because we did eliminate the possibility for pinful on a 4-6 pin draw, while we gain back pinful only on a 4-man draw.
We also get pinfu on a 2-pin draw.
Yeah, and a 6-man draw as well.
Like we should have think of the problem, this particular problem before like showing it on the screen. I think like they
Probably.
actually a lot to think about.
I did think about it.
Like the number of the times that brings bad weight. Yeah, like I didn't think about it too hard in the first. Like, that like two pin discard bring like more chance to bad weight like than I thought earlier.
So, I mean, there are legal arguments for both the 5-man and the 5-pin.
If there is a choice between 5-pin and 2-pin, like I would always discard 2-pin over 5-pin because we have two Dora. But 5-man is indeed an interesting choice.
I mean, 5-pin loses out to 5-man barely. Then, say, if we draw a 4-man, we'll be stuck with a decent, not really good 3-6-man weight. Why, if we draw 4-6-pin, it will still be good. Or at least better than the 3-6-man weight. The best case scenario that can happen from discarding a 5-pin is if we draw another 6-man, we'll get a 3-sided weight.
Well, yeah, well, I already like eliminated the 5-pin. I just think about 2-pin versus 5-man. Like discarding 5-pin is inferior to discarding 2-pin because of the like two Doras. But I only want to compare the 5-man and the 2-pin.
Yeah. I think 5-man barely wins out here. I think. Or at least I think so. I mean, this is totally out of my level.
Hmm. Like if I didn't miscount like out of the 35 useful times after discarding 2-pin, like 18 or 17 of them gives us a bad weight. Like half of them gives bad weight and only half gives good weight. Why in the case of discarding 5-man, let's see. 2.
5-man discard could there will be 8 ties that get bad weight. In the actual situation, it will be 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12. Like if you discard the 5 man, there's like 12 uh 12 tiles that brings you bed weight, excluding the 1 pin. Like if you include the 1 pin, that would be 16 tiles that brings you bed weight out 28. But 1 pin is
I
what
wouldn't count
you
the one
want.
pin because Sansoku.
Yeah, if we don't count the 1pin, that is 12 tiles that brings you an undecided weight. Which is not small also. A lot of times once bring you the good weight, even if discard the 5 man.
Alright, so can we agree to disagree and just state our answers?
Mm.
I mean, I would still go with 5 man.
Like if it's like 2 and 5 have 2 pin and 5 pin have a lot of overlap tiles. Like if it is like 2 unconnected tie, like maybe the 5 man would be more justified.
Alright, so what are our answers?
I would go with 2 pin, I think.
I'd go with 5 man, I think.
Yeah, and I would always go with 2 pin. Let's move on, shall we?
Alright.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a problem about whether we should go for the Brian Man with fewer outs or the Kanchan.
Yeah. The Kanchan still have 4 outs and the Ryan have also 4 outs, so the out is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We have to make the
yeah.
choice between the Ryan and the Kanchan.
So this is a multiple choice question. We have so choice 1 we discuss the 3-4 man block, and choice 2 we discuss 9 man. What do you pick? So my first argument for the keeping the 3-4 man block is the Shanshoku.
It is common to like seeing the obvious Sansuku and keeping the 3-4 man here. That is for sure.
Yeah.
But if we think it like if we like thinking that if we can like to get the Sansuku here, we have to like draw the specific 2 pin and 2 man here, and you will see on the table that 2 man is like 3 out of them are out on the table.
Yeah. So if that's the case, should we consider the fact that 3 6-man out is that? So a lot of 6-man are out. We can see 3 9-man as well. Should we keep the Kanchan just to wait for the lagging 8-man to come out?
The thing is that like if we compare 5-2 man to 8 man, like, and only that, the 8 man should be way easier to win on compared to the 2-5 man in this situation. Like if we like don't think about any other factor, then the 8 man should be immediately easier to win on compared to the 2 and 5. Now I wonder whether it is Aka, Ari, or Nashi.
I think we should just assume we have rest in the game, I think. If we assume we have Rhetora in the game, I don't think we actually have 4 outs on the 3-4 man. More like 3, 3.5.
Yeah, it should be actually lower than 4, 3 or 5 left, because like it is very likely that our opponents already have 1 or 2 in their hands.
Yeah. So all in all, I would go with option 1, discarding the 3/4 rearmament.
Yeah, the thing is that like waiting for it is immediately better than 3 and 5, 2 and 5. Yeah, but the chance of drawing 6 is not that much. So is dropping small Sansuku chance and small red 5 chance worth it?
I think it is.
Like it is hard to like get rid of our Sansuku instinct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you are me, or I have no Sansuku instinct, but like you are
Me
not
too.
me, so you will have that.
All right. So anything else we want to talk about?
I think I would just go with 3 and 4. That is, if in the real match I'm not an idiot and forget to count the number 2, 5. That is already out.
Would go with 3 and 4 as well.
I don't really know for me.
I think. Oh, we are actually out. That was the last problem I prepared beforehand.
Yeah. All right. So anything you guys want to say before we finish up the stream?
Yeah, forgive us for like a lot of sloppy in the first episode. Like mostly it was my sloppiness and not related any to the other two. So like the other two did well. Like the sloppiness only comes from me. So forgive me about that, I think. Any worse, guys?
All right. So can we close up the stream?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, so I hope we will have a like higher quality episode soon.
All right. Sometimes in the future.
Yeah,
All right. So goodbye to
yeah,
all our
goodbye.
viewers.
Yeah, goodbye for now, and thanks for watching.